Hey guys, Triple here to show you all a pretty amazing piece of hardware. It's the Netduma R1 router. It's a fairly new product aimed specifically at gamers and streamers, and it can do a lot of really cool things. But yeah, before we get into it, in the interest of transparency, I will tell you that I'm now sponsored by Netduma. I have a discount code which is down in the description. However, they sent me this router without any strings attached. It is simply to review it and give my honest opinion. The reason I partnered with them is because I've just been really impressed by what the R1 can do in the month or so that I've been using it, and I'm really excited to tell you guys why. As you guys know, I'm primarily a Destiny PvP player and streamer, so I'll be reviewing this mostly based on how I use it on a day-to-day basis, but I will touch upon all the main features. So first up, let's unbox the R1. It's interesting to note that Netduma actually identifies themselves as a software company because they don't manufacture any hardware. This is a router made by MikroTik, which Netduma then uses to flash its custom firmware onto that runs the powerful software you're about to see. That said, it's still a very solid router. It's got 5 gigabit ports on the back, one port that connects to your modem, of course, BGNN Wi-Fi, and one USB 2.0 port. It also supports speeds up to 900 megabits per second, and the unit itself, as you can see, it's very compact. Yeah, you can wall mount it if you want. It's not the sexiest piece of networking equipment ever made, but then again, when it comes to router, you should be buying it not based on how it looks, but how it performs. That's what she said. Anyway, sorry, moving on. Let's get to what really separates the Netduma R1 from buying this same model router for 70 bucks online. This is the Netduma control panel. On the side, you have access to all the functions of the router, and I'll walk you through them, starting with the best tool at your command, the Geo Filter. The single biggest cause of lag in online gaming is not playing people with bad connections, but rather playing people who are located great distances from you, even other countries. What the Geofilter allows you to do is force games to match you with players and or servers that are near you, thus eliminating the vast majority of frustrating lag you normally deal with. The way it works is you set your home location on the map and then decide what the max distance is for finding players. It's that simple. So the way I use it is, I live in New York currently, so I have my home set to there, and I've specified around a 500-mile radius in which to find opponents. I'll show you a quick comparison that demonstrates how powerful this can be. I'm going to play a couple games of Rumble here in Destiny with the Geofilter disabled first, and then turn it on, and you can see how much of a difference that makes. So here we go. I'm going to search for a match, and I'm also going to pull up the map so you guys can see where the players are located that matchmaking is finding for me. Once again, this is searching under normal conditions. The Netduma is doing nothing here other than showing where my opponents are. You can already see that it's finding me people in Mexico, the UK, South America. There's someone in Africa. There's someone out at Hawaii. This is terrible. This is so bad. And everyone's ping is going to be over 100. It's going to be just a very bad situation, and that's negatively going to impact my online gaming experience here playing under these conditions. This is really not what you want to see. And what that translates to are these really frustrating and annoying situations where you're trading kills with players you clearly shot first, or you see big delays in when damage is registering, and many other examples everyone has experienced before. It affects all online games to varying degrees, and nobody wants to be playing where lag is influencing the outcome of what you're doing. So there you saw a few clips of your typical lag when you're often playing people very far away from you. Now I'll show you what it's like to play with the Geofilter enabled. And what you'll quickly notice is that all the little red dots that showed up on the map before, which signified potential players matchmaking could pair me with, are now appearing as alert symbols, which mean these players are outside of the Geofilter range. Ignore them. And as a result, you only see the red dots or potential players inside the circle. You can set this as wide or as narrow as you want. You'll notice I've set mine fairly small, around 500 miles, but now I won't be dealing with distance lag at all. And if we look at the pings, you'll notice an incredible shift. Before, it was normal to see players up in the hundreds or even 200s, but here everyone is at 50 or lower. And if you don't know a lot about ping, that is a huge difference and one that you'll notice. Playing with the Geo Filter on, it can only be described as hella crispy, because man, it's so nice playing on a strong connection. I know all of you know what I'm talking about. Everything happens on time as it should, shots are registering instantly, and you're just enjoying the game as it was meant to be. Before, it was rare to have matches that were so smooth, but now with the Netduma, it's the standard. In a perfect world, we wouldn't need this, because games would be designed to prioritize connection above all else, or at least give us that option. But these days we have things like skill-based matchmaking, or matchmaking that seems to be completely random, like Destiny, which creates for an incredibly inconsistent online experience, which Netduma, to their credit, has found a way to solve in the form of this router, something that you can't fault them for. The Geo Filter supports top games that are hybrid peer-to-peer, host-based, or use dedicated servers on both PlayStation and Xbox. It also has built-in support for PC games like Counter-Strike Go, League of Legends, and Dota 2. It even supports Nintendo Wii Online. Lastly, you may be wondering how this affects private games or playing with your friends. And it's very simple. If you're going to play private games, you can simply disable the Geo Filter with one click. And if you want to play with someone who's outside of your Geo Filter range, you can quickly add them to your whitelist and it'll remain saved so you don't need to worry next time. So that's a look at the Geo Filter, which as a gamer was my primary interest in this router. And while initially it sounded too good to be true, I'm happy to say it works, and it works well. But the Netduma R1 has some other great features I'd like to go over quickly, starting with what they call Congestion Control, which is split into anti-flood and device prioritization. Basically, anti-flood allows you to throttle a portion of your total bandwidth, so in the event of spikes or high usage, you won't experience any lag. Likewise, setting device priorities lets you choose which devices on your network are given a higher share of bandwidth. So for me, I'd want my streaming PC and my consoles getting priority in case, say, my brother decides to watch a lot of Netflix while at the same time my dad is downloading some music. This will ensure I'm not affected. These are two very simple yet useful things that will be a huge benefit to those who have slower internet speeds or share their connection with others. Next up is the virtual private network integration. In addition to working with any open VPN service, it's fully customizable. So you can choose which devices go under a VPN and even specify exceptions. You could say put your PC under a VPN to protect yourself from attackers getting your IP address, but allow your Twitch stream and Counter-Strike to go through your normal connection. It's an easy and comprehensive way to shield yourself from DDoS attacks without adding unnecessary latency to what you're doing. Lastly, we have the network monitor, which measures the download and upload of all the devices on your network in real time, which can be very useful in determining, who's hogging all your bandwidth, or even perhaps help you identify a virus on your computer or something. It's very straightforward, but really it's just a nice tool to have. So there you go. That's my review of the Netduma R1 router. Is it effective at what it's supposed to do? Yes. Should you buy it? That's a question only you can answer. If you're a streamer or you play just a lot of multiplayer games, I highly recommend it. The sheer amount of features and tweaks available are fantastic. The software is really amazing. But the main reason I was interested in the R1 was simply to reduce lag, and it does that job tremendously well. I haven't had to play lobbies full of people from other countries anymore, and the few players with bad connections I've come across, I just blacklist. There's nothing else out there that approaches what the Geo Filter can do, and that to me makes the Netduma worth it alone. The R1 is also great if you share an internet connection with a lot of other people, or if your internet is on the slower side. There's so many tools at your disposal to make the most out of your situation. As I mentioned at the start, you can get a discount on your order through me. Just use code Triplewreck at checkout. You can get 5% off. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this brief review informative and helpful. I know I don't do a lot of YouTube videos. I do even less videos about gear, but thank you for the support as always. I'm Triple, and I'll see you next time.